morning, dear student. Welcome in online classes of Budhai International School. I Kapil Sharma, your assistant teacher, again with the new topic, that is the causes for the failure of the revolt of 1857. First lecture, a kind of introductory lecture regarding the revolt of 1857. In second, we have discussed about the causes of the revolt of 1857. Recently, you know very well that regarding all social, economic, political, then after military, and then after religious causes and the immediate cause, about all those causes behind the revolt of 1857 we have discussed. Now in this lecture, you know well, we are going to discuss about the main causes for the failure of the revolt of 1857. You know, my dear student, that this revolt was a kind of result of the unrest of Indian masses. Finally, really no doubt, they raised their voice, they fight the war, they actively taken part in the revolt, but even they fell in this revolt of 1857. Means finally, who emerged as victorious? They are the Britishers only. So mainly in this lecture, we are going to talk that what were the main causes behind the defeat of Indians and behind the victory of Britishers. So first, you see, no doubt, the revolt of 1857 posed a formidable challenge to the British Empire in India, because Britishers are not going to think in their dream also that the Indians can raise their voice and they can give such a stiff challenge to us. Why? Because most of Indians are there, they are just like the slave of Britishers, and even they just raise their voice and they fight and they revolted against Britishers. Really, it was a formidable change that they are not going to forget it in future. Then it continued till 1859, started by 1857 and it was continued up to 1859, but it was eventually suppressed and the British authority or India was re-established. Means in the beginning, when the revolt, we can say, unfurled by Mangal Pandey, by Barakpur, the Britishers felt and realized that yes, now we have to move, we have to leave India anyhow, because the Indians, they are not going to allow us to rule over for the long time. Why? Because they have seen that how actively almost all the Indian soldiers, even the common men, tribals, merchants, traders, women, actively taken part. And the Britishers felt so that yes, now we have to leave India anyhow. But finally, what happened, my dear student, that they able to suppress the revolt of 1857, and again they are going to re-establish their authority over Indians. Now, what were the main reason behind the failure of the revolt of 1857? Why? Because if we have taken part in such a active mood, in almost all the people of India, they are against the Britishers, then what were the main causes behind the failure? Really, this question is in your mind, even in the mind of everyone who are going to study this chapter, that why? Because actively they are taken part and even they defeated, even they suppressed by the Britishers. So you see, by the students, so many reasons were there behind that suppressed, behind the defeat of the Indians. Number one, just like the rebellion was not organized and didn't take place at all places at the same time. No doubt, the rebellions are rebelling against the Britishers. They revolted against the Britishers, but the main weakness was there, they are not organized and didn't take place at all places. Means they are fighting as per their own. Just like few soldiers are there from Barakpur, few are from Meerut, few are from just like Bundelkhand, some are there from some other areas. Means they are not organized themselves in a proper way. Because if systematic fighting is not there, then they can be easily suppressed. Finally, why? Because it is very easy to defeat 100 to 200 soldiers, but it is impossible, we can say, to defeat more than 1 lakh soldiers, 1 lakh Indians at a time. So the same means it was a kind of advantage for the Britishers, that was the disorganized system of Indians, and at a place they are not fighting same. They are actively taken part, but they are not organized and didn't take place at places at the same time. Like from Meerut, it is going to started on maybe 9 December. Then after 1 month, after 15 days, it is going to start from some other areas. Okay, from Awadh it is started 5 days later. Okay, so likewise, my dear student, if this revolt in an organized manner going to take part, if all the Indians are going to gather at a place and actively they are fighting on the same day in almost all the parts of India, we are not going to failure in this revolt, but this was a kind of main, we can say, cause behind the failure of the revolt of 1857. Number 2, the rebels lacked modern weapons for the war. You know very well, just like Royal Enfield, this kind of guns were there with the Britishers, but Indians, they are not having any modern weapon. The regions were there, the rule of the Britishers was there at that time, so they can go with the modern weapon, no doubt, because they are having the good and strong economic situation also. But Indians economically poor. Second thing, they are not aware about the modern weapons. They are using their whatever the manual sword, the lathi, and some arrows and other were there. That kind of weapons they are using, and you know it is very difficult to fight with the these kind of weapons if in front of you kind of guns as well as modern weapons are there. So this was also the another reason behind the failure of this revolt. The third reason was there that the struggle remained restricted only to North India. People of Southern India didn't actively take part in this. Yes, in North India, my dear student, in North India, almost all Indians, they are well aware about this act, about this revolt, and they actively taken part in this revolt, no doubt. But in Southern India, what happened? The people not taken part actively. Second thing, first, many of them are not aware even that the revolt is going on against the Britishers. So you see that only on one side, means in North India only the people are fighting against Britishers. In South, they are happy. Some of them are loyal with the Britishers. Some don't know even that the revolt is going on, and some of them, they are having the little bit of knowledge about this. That yes, in North it is going on, and we should also support and we should also take part. They also taken part, but you know same thing is there that if at a time it is not going to take part in almost all the side of country, then it's not possible to defeat Britishers. Secondly, fourth reason, my student, due to the cruel treatment to the revoluntaries by the British, the ordinary people were frightened and didn't actively participate in the revolt. Suppose in this revolt, the Indians, those are taking part, they are hanged by the Britishers if they caught by the British troop. Many of them, they are tortured in such a way, and these all kind of cruel punishment Britishers they want to give in front to other soldiers and in front to other common people, Indians. Why? Because they want to give a kind of message to other Indians and to other people also that yes, if you will take part here, if you will raise your voice against us, then definitely you will be also given a such kind of cruel punishment, just like hanging them, okay, snatching their nails and other, by the hammer, killing them, torturing by, taking their blood, and many kind of, cruel punishments were there. They are given by the Britishers to the Indians. Why? Because they want to spread the message of their cruelty. Second thing, they want to make the Indians that so scared that if they will take part, then the same kind of cruel punishment will be there for them. So in this regard, what happened? By going through this, by seeing the cruel treatment of the Indians, Britishers, so many Indians, they were frightened and they are not going to take part in this revolt. Next, the fifth reason was there that by having control over the means of communication and transportation, the British were able to suppress easily. Yes, if we have good network of road, if we have good transportation system, then whatever the weapons we want, then easily they can be reached to us. The same the Britishers, they are having good transportation system, no doubt. They are having the good coordination, good communication system. These all good systems and modern technology of the Britishers somewhere were very helpful to suppress Indians. Sixth and last, rebels didn't have a single leader. Yes, that was very important, we can say, reason and the cause behind the failure of revolt at 1857. That we are fighting as per our own wish, wherever we want they started. We are not having, Indians are not having any leader. Okay, and you know very well that if a army is there, maybe in army more than lakhs and crore soldiers maybe, but if a man chieftain, जिसको अपन सेनापति बोलते हैं, if he is not there, I think in the absence of that chieftain, we are not going to gain the victory in that battle. The same idea, student. So many Indians, they have actively taken part in this revolt, but they are not having any single leader. Only the Bahadur Shah Zafar was there. He was declared, and he was the last Mughal ruler. Bahadur Shah Zafar II. Well, he was declared as the leader from Delhi. From Delhi, he is going to handle the whole activity of the rebellions. And finally, he was also arrested by the Britishers and sent for the exile there in Rangoon. Not only this, the two sons of Bahadur Shah Zafar killed mercilessly, we can say cruelly, by the Britishers in front of the eyes of the Bahadur Shah Zafar only. Why? Because again they want to spread a kind of message, as well as they want to show the Indians that if you will go against us, then the same kind of treatment will be given to you also. So you see, my listener, only we can say a single leader, that was the Bahadur Shah Zafar from Delhi. He is going to lead. Rest other parts of the country, if you will see, there was not a single leader. They are not in an organized manner. They are not having the modern weapon, as well as so many other regions were there. They are behind the failure of the revolt of 1857. One thing I want to tell my dear student: if all Indians at a time going to take part actively with a proper system and proper management, and with the presence of good leaders, we are not going to failure in this revolt, and India is not going to get the independence then by 15 August 1947. We will already got the independence by the 1857 only. But because of the failure of this revolt, we have to wait finally up to 15 August 1947, and finally we got the independence by 1947. Why? Because we fell in the first war of independence, that was the revolt of 1857. Now next you see the effects of the revolt of 1857. Obviously, maybe Indians easily suppressed by the Britishers. No doubt they again able to re-establish their authority. But some good, we can say, impacts were there, some good effects were there of this revolt. And those effects were there, they are good and in the favor of the Indians. So here we are going to know about that what were the effects of the revolt of 1857. No doubt we failure in this revolt, but finally some good things were also there after this revolt. For example, no doubt this revolt, in which we have had far-reaching results, it ended the long period of the company's tyranny. Yes, very important thing. Yeah, very important effect was there, that before 1857, my dear student, a private company which was running by the merchants only, that was British East India Company, that is ruling over Indians. Okay, each and everything is there, that is looked after by this company only. But after this revolt, a very good and a very, we can say, amazing result was there. That was, that this is the end of the tyranny of British East India Company. Means a private company is not having the authority to rule over Indians right now. Why? There is the end of the rule of the company, and now what happened? The Indian Empire was directly placed under the British Crown. British Crown means now British Parliament is going to look after the issues of Indians. Means now the Indians are totally under the control of British Crown, not under the British East India Company, that was a private company. And the Queen Victoria was proclaimed as the Empress of India. Now the Queen Victoria, the Empress of India, proclaimed, and now she will give the decisions, she will look after the whole activity of India, and now we are also under the control of British Crown, not under the control of a company. That was a really far of good result of this revolt of 1857. So my dear student, you should also know this, that what was the main effect of this revolt, that there is the end of the company rule. Now the Indians are there, they are directly under the control of British Crown. Second effect was there, the rule of Mughals and Peshwa came to an end, and Viceroy was put in charge of the Indian domination. Before this revolt of 1857, you know very well, the Mughals were also there, just like Bahadur Shah Zafar as a last Mughal ruler, Peshwa, okay, Nawabs, they were also there. But after this, what happened? A new post was created, that was a post of, we can say, Viceroy. Okay, before this also the generals were there, just like some generals. But now what happened? The Viceroy was a kind of new post created, and he was in charge of the complete Indian domination. Third effect, the Indian rulers were assured that their states would not longer be taken over. They were also given the authority to declare their adopted sons as their legal heir. As per the doctrine of Lebs, they are not allowed to adopt any child, and if they are not having any natural heir, then their kingdom automatically annexed into the British territory. But now what happened after the revolt of 1857, it was also a great change, that the Indians, those are they make assured that their states would no longer be taken away. Means the British government is not going to taken away their kingdom. Whatever the kingdom, whatever the area under their ruling, they will remain as the ruler of their own area only. Number two, that now they can adopt the child also. Okay, and after the death of that ruler, the child will be the next successor of that ruler. Okay, so in that situation, if a king is not having their natural heir, they can also go to adopt any child, and that adopted child that will be also considered as the next successor. This new system, a new effect was also there after the revolt of 1857. This was also a great change, we can say. And last, you see the number of Indian soldiers, like that time they are known as Sipahi, in the army was reduced, while the number of British soldiers was increased. You see, what was the reason behind the reduction of the Indian soldiers and that the British soldiers increased? That you know very well. By 1856, out of, we can say, 3 lakh soldiers into British troop, more than 2,90,000 soldiers are there. They are the Indians only. See, my dear student, if all the 2,90,000 Indian soldiers are going to take part in this revolt, what do you think? We are going to fail? No, my dear student. We are definitely going to get the success in this revolt. But unfortunately, what happened, that all Indians are there, they are fighting, they are killing to the Indians only. They are killing to their own brothers and sisters. Even being Indians, they are killing to Indians only. Why? Because they are, fighting by the side of Britishers, as they are working as the soldiers in the British army. So same, my dear student, now what happened, that was a great change after the revolt of 1857, because this revolt was started by a Sipahi, by a soldiers only, and who was that? Mangal Pandey. So now Britishers, they have, it was in their mind that if a single soldier can start the revolt against us, then if this high number of the soldiers are there in our army, if at a time they are going to start the revolt, then I think they can easily suppress us, they can defeat us easily, then we have to move away from the India and from its territory. So finally what happened, that now the Britishers, they felt and they realized that this revolt was started by the soldiers. But now what happened, after the revolts of 1857, most of the soldiers are there in the British army. They are the Britishers only. A very less number of Indian soldiers is there in the British army. So this was also a great change. So simply we can say these all were the effects of the revolt of 1857. They are really good and in the favor of Indians. We can say that somehow we can say mercilessly policy of the Britishers as well as to that company that is going to rule over us. Now we are not under a company, we are fully under the British crown, where Princess we can say Elizabeth is there, that is going to take the decision and going to look after each and every thing of the Indian domination. So this is all regarding, in which we have discussed the causes for the failure of the revolt, and then after the effects of the revolt of 1857. So I hope whatever we discussed in this today's lecture, you understood it very nicely. Even any doubt in any queries there, my dear student, feel free, you can discuss with me. And one more thing, my dear student, for better understanding whatever the topic I explained in this lecture, you go through by your own. You keep revising, you go for the reading once and twice, and after that this whole concept will be clear to you. So along with the lecture, by your own also you can go, so you can develop your better sense and you can understand it very nicely. Thank you. Have a nice day.